Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer. No, we never walk alone. We dominate the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one and one for all. Pass a move. We're talking total football. Here we go again. Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. That's it. It's over. It's done. Jürgen Klopp is no longer the manager of Liverpool Football Club. And saying them words, I didn't think I'd be able to say them with a smile on my face. And it's not because I'm happy. It's just, I don't know. I feel really strange about it. I feel just oddly optimistic about everything. Like he's managed to do the impossible on his last day. Even more, and just he's made everyone just feel boss about the future, and I think it's just a testament to the man and the manager that he's been for us, that he's walking out the door and straight away he's made Arnie Slot feel welcome straight away. It's just phenomenal, isn't he? Like we're gonna miss him obviously, but like what a man.
He's almost made it as if like if we doubt Arnie Slot, we doubt him. So, like when he said live in front of us, we're from doubters to believers, and I'm one of you now, I believe, and he can see what's going on behind the scenes, and he knows the squad we've got and the foundations that are laid. You know, he openly said himself that he believes this club's in probably the best position it's ever been in when a manager's left, and I don't think he's wrong. I've said before, I think he's up there, if not at the very top of the list in terms of Liverpool managers. In the job he's done, the foundations he has set, and to get us all on side, the new manager, like standing ovation, singing his name. Don't get me wrong, it was mixed. Some were singing Jürgen, some were singing Arnie. It part of went Arnie, Jürgen. It was boss. Absolute magical moment. But that's what he does, lad. He walked away. I think if he'd have gone to pot and he'd have gone to bits, I think we'd have followed suit instantly. The lead up to the ceremony was heartbreaking. Every song we sung, I got emotional. The You'll Never Walk Alone at the beginning was, I've never heard anything like it. I've never fucking shed tears like it. I'm gonna go again. Lad, I was a blubbering. I had my banner up. And I was just all I could do was I couldn't sing it. I was just fucking. I was gone, like absolutely gone. It was the last one with him. It was amazing, and yeah, through the game, you know, the game meant absolutely fuck all to any of us. Like I sort of didn't want it to end because once the full time whistle's gone, he's gone, Annie. But I couldn't wait for it to end to give him the send off he deserved, and it was unbelievable, and we came out feeling $1 million. Wow, through teary eyes. But I can't explain the feeling. We come out feeling fucking sad and happy at the same time. Like the world was ending, but like the world was starting, all in the same moment. It was fucking bizarre, lad, and that's what a man like Klopp can do to you. I don't know how I feel. It's
mad. No, it's crazy, and Aaron's going to be buzzing with this episode, lad. He's going to be fucking clipping you again. No, it's just, yeah, I mean, that You'll Never Walk Alone was the best I've ever heard in my life. I think the atmosphere was one of the best I've ever heard. It was brilliant throughout, and it was like, obviously the fans were going through like a whole repertoire of all the songs for all the players we've had throughout Klopp's time at the club, and I think it was really fitting. It was what if Jürgen Klopp could have went into the crowd and went, look, what I want you to do today, I want you to sing songs for players who aren't here anymore, players who've helped us get to this point, players who've helped us win everything, sing them all. That's what I want you to do. And I felt like that's what happened yesterday. And like, you know, they were singing I think they were singing Bobby Firmino, and I was sitting in ours and I was like, they're going to go through everything now. They'll sing Divock Origi next, and then he went into Divock Origi next, like out of the blue. It was crazy, but it was brilliant, and it's exactly what, as I said, what Klopp would have wanted. And I think I've seen a few little comments on Twitter saying the presentation with all the staff coming out separately and the players coming out separately was too long-winded, and it wasn't. Klopp deserved better and things like that. It's like Klopp deserved better. That's exactly what Klopp would have wanted. Klopp doesn't want the whole focus to be on him. He wants these players to have a proper send-off. Matip and Thiago, they deserve a proper send-off. His whole coaching staff deserve a proper send-off individually. They deserve to be individually recognised for the jobs that they've done at the club, because without them there, Klopp would admit himself he couldn't do the job that he has done with him without his team. And even the one, the player liaison guy who's leaving after 16 years, I can't remember his name exactly. You know, people were saying, why is he involved as well? He's got nothing to do with the coaching staff. It's like, but that's not the point. He's leaving. He's a part of this club, a massive part of this club, and he's leaving. And Klopp would want him included. It's like, people just can't understand. Everything that happened yesterday was exactly how Klopp would have wanted it.
I think anyone who's got any negative comment to make about yesterday is just absolutely a barn pot, to be honest with you. It worked. To be fair, the bit that it was, say, not today, we were all like emotionally exhausted and we wanted it over. You know, we were in there like, I think 35 minutes before Klopp came back out, and it was exhausted, but it was, as you say, exactly what Klopp would have wanted, and it helped us. Because I think if it would have just been Klopp instantly at full time, we'd have gone to pot. Like, absolute everyone in the crowd would have been gone. It calmed us down a bit. It enabled us to prepare for what was about to come. Because every name that got mentioned, we were like, there's another one. It'll be him and him now, then him, and then it's him, and then it's Klopp. And
let you brace yourself for it, didn't it?
Yeah, it gave us a chance. Like the fella next to me, oh my word, he was about 60. He was bawling his eyes out through all of it, and it's just like turning around and he's crying, I'm crying. Lad Darren's next to me, he's crying, but no one was like head down, crying, trying to hide it. We were fucking fixated on what was in front of us. We couldn't give a fuck if anyone laughed at us or if anyone didn't feel the same. We were just all emotional. I can't explain it. No one was asked that they were emotional. We were all genuinely emotional, and it became like a unison amongst the crowd. And Klopp managed to fucking save the day by not being emotional. You know, like, if you cry, we'll cry. Fucking hell. And when he said, I thought that'd be an absolute bitch, but I'm just dead happy and overwhelmed how it ended out. And then we were like, it has been a proper special day. I literally was that close to putting my fucking black suit on in the morning, lad. And fucking going the match like that. I felt like I was going to a funeral. It was absolutely horrible. I was having palpitations. Fucking didn't know how the day was going to pan out. The coach welcome, fucking so special. Everything was just mad. Everything was tenfold we've witnessed. Like, no game of footy could have prepared us for what went on there. Like, I've never seen an atmosphere before it. I've never seen the ground so full around the stadium before a game. Never seen the concourse so full. Like, everyone was just together in the exact same ideas about how to cope with it all. It was just and I think the ceremony, everyone who got a mention deserved a mention. Whether it's someone in the background that we don't know, you know, they've had a part to play in the success over the years. And I was made up. Peplin's got a special ovation because he deserved it. And he's been waiting for them fist pumps himself, and he gave us a for himself, lad. I told you we ain't going to stop at one point. And do you know what? I think I wish him all the best as well. I hope he goes on and smashes it in his new club. And Klopp made us happy that he was happy. He looked like, you know, he made the comment the other day, he's going on holiday and he mightn't fucking come back, sort of thing. He needs a holiday, and he looked ready for his holiday. Just a brilliant day, honestly.
No, you know what? And I said it to you before we started recording. The things that set me off more than anything was, like, you seen his embrace with Virgil. Virgil's put his head down into his shoulder to hide his emotions, kind of thing. And then you see Trent, like, when everyone's singing "You Never Walk Alone," he's holding it back. And then I seen an interview with him just before I was about to go to sleep last night, and then that set me off. And he's crying while he's giving the interview, and it's like, he's changed my life. He's changed my family's life. It's like, he can't, and like, people are chatting, he's going to go to Madrid. Is he? Fuck. he's never going anywhere. He's staying here for the rest of his fucking life.
Do you know when at full time, lad? It was a bit weird because they didn't actually. They usually do a parade with the whole families, and I don't know whether I've just zoned out and missed it, but I didn't see it.
They done it well after.
Did they?
Yeah. Because on Sky they done an interview with Allison and he had his kid with him. But this was after. So they'd done all the ceremony and that, and after ground had emptied, and then they done it all. So they were obviously prioritising saying goodbye and all that,
Yeah,
and then
fair enough.
going back in, and then coming back out with the families. But yeah, Allison done an interview with Sky.
Trent walked right round the outside.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was going, and he was just clapping the crowd, and he was singing. It was mixed in between, I think, Don't Worry About a Thing and the Scouts in our team, and it was like a bit of a mixed fucking album, if you want. And I said, you know what, it's not looking good that he's the only one. He's the only one who's gone round the ground. He went round the ground, and I was like, he's going. But, you know, I've said before, that I couldn't give a fuck what players are there next season, or I couldn't care less. You know, it was all about Klopp, and we'll start panicking about players and that in the future, but not now. Not after.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Amongst it all as well.
The emotions he had was like watching us in the ground. Like where there's a point where he's speaking and he's trying to explain that he doesn't get upset whilst he's like nearly hyperventilating. He's like, I'm not like this. And I'm like, that's me. That was me in the cops and never walk along trying to get words out that aren't quite coming out. And everyone I've spoke to, there was, I'm going to fucking go again here. There was lads just hugging for nothing. We come out the ground and there was lads with tears in their eyes and just hugging, like as if something bad had happened. Just knowing, I can see in your eyes, you need a fucking hug, lad. I mean, everyone was just hugging and that. It was mad. But because of how he made us feel, there was a positive comment at the end of every hug. Like, we'll be all right, lads, we go again. And it was just, it was fucking mad. It's gonna end up a fucking disaster for me. I'm gonna be on a meme.
No, it was just it was just perfect. Amongst it all, there was a game of football as well. Don't know if you noticed.
I didn't, and I didn't even have a bevy. I usually forget because I'm pissed.
Yeah, no.
I felt pissed.
You can't even speak now. Look,
and the event just drew me in, and I felt pissed. I'd had 2 bottles of 0 alcohol, fucking Heineken, and I felt pissed. And it was just the atmosphere, the occasion just got me. And I don't think, I'm just so happy that I didn't fucking miss anything, because I wouldn't live with myself if I'd ended up getting bladdered and missing bits. I kept the footy, just couldn't fucking had a match.
No, and that's it. Like that, it really did take a backseat to everything going on. It might as well have just, they might as well done it today and just add all the stuff with Klopp there today, because it wouldn't have, the football might as well not have happened. But it was nice to go out with a win. Nice to go out with a clean sheet, which we haven't had for a long time.
That was me one worry. That's me one thing I said. Like, please, can we have a clean sheet? Can we just defend with a bit of honour and a bit of determination to make sure we don't concede? So, like, this fucking conspiracy that we can't defend has ended today. We can defend, we can keep clean sheets, and we can score goals, and we can play lovely football under that manager. That manager's not done. He's just tired. He needs a rest. So I'm glad that we've done that for him.
Yeah,
we played well. There's some spells of the game where we clapped the football just because it was lovely football, and the defending, there's a few last ditch blocks that we haven't been doing. Quansah and slide and tackle in the air to block a shot that should have been going in, and that's what I wish we'd have just done a little bit earlier on, but wasn't to be. But they've showed that they can do it, and they gave a good, example of themselves for the new manager who's coming in.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. The way the last few weeks of the season have kind of been pretty bad, but then, I think to try and put a positive spin on it, like we try to do a lot of times, we've ended the season unbeaten in 4. Like, it's not really, it's not really that bad.
We're unbeaten in 4.
The way it sounds ridiculous. It does, but as I say, the way the weeks before the last 4 games went, I said it at the time. I thought we'd lose our 2 away games that we had left, the West Ham and the Villa, and I thought we'd just about scrape a win in the other 2, the 2 home ones. And we beat Tottenham comfortably. We beat Wolves comfortably yesterday. Yeah, we probably should have beat. And in fairness, we probably should have beat West Ham and Villa. I don't know. It's just, I think once the league was mathematically done for us, I kind of stopped caring a little bit and just was trying to just enjoy the last few games of having Klopp as manager as much as I could.
I had my little hissy fit, didn't I, when we got beat by Everton and said, I can't see these lads winning a point or a game because they just look gone. And I don't know whether it was through, you've seen our reaction to Klopp going, and then you see Trent's reaction, and that lad's got to pull himself together and then play games of footy. You know what I mean? Fucking some of us have struggled to get into work in that lad. So they've got to go and play footy, and they are humans. And, players like Trent who've come through under Klopp and been given the opportunities and won everything at a young age, who does feel like he owes his life to the man. It can be a lot of pressure.
It's the only thing he's ever known, isn't it, as a player? You know what I mean?
Klopp said something, I don't know whether you've seen it, on like a snippet of the documentary, which has already changed my mind on the documentary, because it's no longer about results, it's about seeing Klopp in his last few moments at Liverpool. So that spins that on its head for me now. Seeing him in the dressing room saying, anyone who thinks like he's give up in that knows nothing about football. He said, you are in a season of transition, and you took my expectations from here to there, and it was unbelievable. And then you just fell short, but you've overachieved. Like you've had that should have took a season or 2 to get to where you are now, and you're already there just like that. So when the new fella comes in, you're fucking there, you're ready. And he turns around and he goes, I don't even know who won the league. And they go, Man City.
Yeah.
It's only you who've beat them. It's only you who've beat them, sir. So you can do it again. And he is an absolute genius. In even if it is all spins, and there's a saying like you could sell sand to the Arabs. I think he could. Do you know what I mean? But it is genuine. There's some people. Are you there? Yeah. There's some people in the jobs where they have to spiel shite to get a job, or some electricians might go into a property and go, "Your wiring shot to bits. You need a rewire." When in fact, if you tested it properly, you'd be able to prevent a rewire. You know what I mean? He's genuine. What he's saying to people and how he comes across is genuine. It's not to make you believe when you shouldn't. It's not to spin shite. It's the truth in his heart, and I think that's what makes him magic. He had, I think even the players yesterday were like, "This is what we're losing, but fucking hell, he's right. Look at us. What are we capable of? Few fresh faces in that team makes them we'll go again."
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, the announcement can't be far away now. You'd think with Klopp doing that yesterday, obviously.
Klopp announcing it.
Yeah. Klopp's announced it, Arnie Slot's announced it. The only people that haven't announced it is fucking the club.
I was waiting for Liverpool to take his head off and Arnie Slot in the suit, lads.
That would have been class, actually.
How was it that a bit?
Now, I think the announcement, I don't know what they're waiting for now. They might as well just do it.
You know what? I think it is just a period of reflection. Give it, like, the likes of me, I haven't been able to bring myself to watch most of the footage, most of the videos. The Anfield Wrap interview, I haven't watched it. There's one I won't entertain. There's a few, like, from the Echo. I think there's one from the Echo or the last farewell or whatever it was. I watched that, and I was sat in the bath just sobbing. A sob that I've never sobbed before. It was fucking unexplainable. Just relentless tears. And I thought, fuck this. I can't do this to myself. And then last night when I got home from the match, I felt a bit more ready because of how he'd made me feel. And I watched a few more. There was a cartoon clip that Liverpool shared of a kid growing up, Jürgen Klopp. Oh, lad, it's a little kid writing a letter to Klopp, and then he starts going to matches, and then he's got a beard and a little muzzy in that as he's a bit older. And then Klopp leaving, and I was like, fuck me, that's a cartoon. I'm putting Tom and Jerry on to fucking cheer myself up. Yeah, so I think they're going to let. I hope they give us the time because I think that'll be too quick. You don't just want Klopp gone and then. I don't know whether people are the same as me. Once a thing's passed, I don't dwell on it. Me, if Arnie Slot was announced today, I'd start watching all the footage of him coming in, which is mad.
I know what you mean. Like,
so I think give it a fucking a week.
Yeah, give it a month. No, yeah, it's all going very fast at the minute, I think, isn't it, as well? And you've got, Slot had a great send off from Feyenoord as well, which was nice for him. Yeah, and people were saying, people were going last week like, "Oh, I don't like this. He shouldn't be announcing it himself." Blah blah blah. And it's like but he's not. I think people were misinterpreting what he was doing. He wasn't doing it for us or for himself or anything like that. He was doing it so he could say goodbye to Feyenoord fans properly. Which,
and that's what I mean. Some of our fans are that entitled that we think everything should just be covered up and then we could just announce him. No, he's built a legacy there. He's adored there, like Klopp's adored here. They're the same as us. They can't see how they replace him. He's their Klopp. Klopp's our Shankly.
Yeah.
He's our Paisley. So
yeah, exactly that.
You've got to do, as much as it's hard when it's not officially announced, there's been some sort of settlement where we all know the truth, we all know what's happening, and you've got to have to give the respect to the supporters who love the man. But that'd have been, imagine he just went down the tunnel and they're like, fucking hell, he might be going. So,
yeah,
he done it right. I thought
just goes down the tunnel and then, like, just 3 weeks later, is announced as Liverpool manager. Yeah. No, he's again, that's it. The more I'm seeing about everything with him, the more I'm liking him just in general. And I think it's quite fitting. I said this yesterday, like, it's quite fitting that, we get Klopp from Dortmund. Dortmund very famously sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." And now we're getting Slot from Feyenoord, who very famously sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" before the games. It's like everything about it just seems like it's the right move.
I think Klopp's had something to do with some of it. I honestly do. I think there's been talks. I think because even the way we've shortlisted managers, we'd have pinpointed one instantly, and Slot wasn't the one. So I think something's happened where there's been a bit of a say or a bit of an input. Because I honestly don't think that Klopp does that for many other people as well. Like, I don't think he does that for like the Sporting Lisbon lad who we don't know. He's got no real character or nothing. Say for instance, it was Mourinho or Desert. I don't think he does it. There's just something about it that it just seems so fitting, so connected. The video Feyenoord released, it's like the clubs were working together to make it all as interlinking and intertwining as possible. So it felt like a real positive transition. Like, I'm sat watching a Klopp video, then I'm sat watching Feyenoord Slot video. I don't know whether it was being in the bath and they're already being water, but I was fucking just sobbing relentlessly at everything I watched. I think I was going to put cat clips on to see if that changed it. But fucking hell.
No, just everything about it feels right to me.
The way they've done it all is it just seems a perfect ending. And again, I think Klopp's reaction to us and the way it ended was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
He looked genuinely excited for us about the future. When I love the fans. I love our fans. When our fans are like that, mate, there's nothing like it in the world. We're never going to be like that again just for a normal game, but I wish we could be a percentage of it because that was relentless. Like, from the first minute to about the fucking 35th minute was non-stop singing, and then through the second half as well. And yeah, I think Klopp just loved it. I think he loved it. And
it got better as people were realising, right, we've got less and less time with him as manager now, so we need to make it better and better and better. And that's what seemed to happen. Like, the end of the game for, I'd say, about the 81st, 82nd minute, you couldn't hear the commentary on Sky. You couldn't hear them. Like, they might as well have just sat there and shut up. You could not hear them. It was unbelievable.
Oh, lad, it was proper special. But we've set the bar for ourselves now that we're capable of that. We don't want the new manager coming in expecting that and then getting what you get when you play like the fucking likes of your Fulhams and Lutons and that. Well, to be fair, Luton was good. We need to be like that. The likes of where we were singing Wijnaldum and Henderson and Mane and all that. let's do that for the new bunch of players next season. Let's go from Alisson to the left back, to the centre half, to the right back. Go right through the team who's on the pitch. Go right through the team who's on the bench. Give them all a little cameo of a song. There was a point there where we were singing Diaz's song and he just lost the ball and he picks his head straight up, fuck off, straight back into the tackle. And that's the difference. That's what we're capable of doing. And we showed yesterday that we can do it. Again, I'm not going to sit there next season and go, fucking hell, we done it for Klopp. We should be doing it every week because it might never be that loud ever again. But we know the Klopp can do it. You know, we can stand there and sing every player's name. And I think that's what we should do. Even players that aren't doing well, if you sing the name in a ritual where before the game, you know, you've got your support. The likes, say for instance, a Nunes, who we sing every time he does something wrong. We fucking put that in the bin, but his name gets sung before it. He knows we're with him, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, even that, he brought out the best of us yesterday. And the songs he was singing was emotional because you were reliving memories. The Mane song, fucking, we won it in Madrid. And you're like, he just went from that to Wijnaldum to fucking Enzo. And then, for some reason, we started singing Garcia and Maxi Rodriguez, which I think that's the problem in the fan base, that some people aren't on the same wavelength, that we're singing about Klopp's team here and the team, what he's given us, the memories we've had, and we're giving a little nod to them for making it all happen. And then someone starts singing Maxi Rodriguez. But I don't know whether he was there, to be fair. And then someone started singing Lewis Gant, and then the best midfield in the world, Momo Sissoko, Zabia, and I'm like, what are you doing? Turn it in now. But yeah,
going a bit too far.
We could be fucking 10% of that yesterday every week, and we could sing for every player, whether it be a shit song or a good song, just so they all knew we were there for them. It'd be fucking fantastic. It'd be like it used to be. They used to do it in the 70s and that. Every player had a song or a chant. You know, it doesn't have to be fucking all lyrics and all that. Fucking hell.
Even at the end of the game, lad, and it's like, you know, Thiago comes out and he gets his song, and then Matip comes out and he never had a song, but everyone just went. I mean, I can't remember an actual proper song for him, but what I mean is, then yesterday there's only one Joel Matip.
No,
was singing out.
Did you not hear the song before it?
No.
Oh, lad, it went off.
No, I just heard there's only one.
Hey, waka waka, hey. His name is Joel Matip. He comes from Africa. The whole cop was
no, didn't hear that. I only heard there's only one Joel Matip.
It went from that, and then he got to the end of the queue to go and get his prizes, and then we sang one Joel Matip.
Oh no, I only heard that. You might have been talking over the other bit, but I only heard the one Joel Matip bit.
I've recorded that to send to Dave from Ragamuffins because that's what he made it up.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
no, definitely didn't hear that. But that's okay. Glad he had his own song then. That's boss.
But I know what you're saying though. Like if there's players there who haven't got songs. James Milner never had a song. James Milner, you know, that happens. Even if you sing that for three of the players, at least they know that they're being thought of.
Going
off topic a little bit, but I think should there's players there that have given a lot. There was a point yesterday where Harvey Elliott was like cramped down in front of the cop and he stood up and he's walking away and he just fucking ran his ass off, thinking that now's the time to give him a fucking sing his name and no, it didn't happen like, but.
No, it's great, and we do need to go back to the days of everyone having a song. I think it's right, and you know, players like Harvey Elliott, who's probably there's an argument made there for that he's been our best player this season.
I do.
And so, you know, the fact that he hasn't got a song, he's 21, he's played over 100 games for the club. It's like the lad gives everything every single game, and like he's phenomenal. But yeah, yesterday was just, again, said it before, it was just, for everything about it was perfect for me. I don't think it could have went any better. I don't think in Jürgen's eyes it could have went any better. For me, watching it was absolutely perfect. And I'm glad. I think only Jürgen Klopp would make sure that, you know, that all his backroom staff got the recognition. Only Jürgen Klopp would bring the player liaison officer or whatever his job title was. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but only he would bring him as part of that as well. You know what I mean? And people are joking, I was expecting the tea ladies to get a goodbye in that as well. And you know what? If they were leaving, Klopp would probably find a way to fucking bring them out.
But lads, what they did, they got a goodbye from Klopp personally.
That's what I mean.
They all got took to Anfield for a special ceremony with Klopp, and every member of staff, from the tea ladies to the chefs to the people who pull pints, they were fucking all in a big square.
Yeah, seen it.
Trophies on show with Klopp in the middle, and that is why we compare him to Bill Shankly, because he makes everyone, from the tea lady to the fucking captain, feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, I've never worked for the club, but I feel like I've been fucking part of it. That's why we're all emotional, because he's connected us all in a way that you can't explain. And I know you've got fucking dickheads from outside the club saying, oh, he's only won one Premier League and one European Cup and one World Club trophy and one FA Cup and 2 League Cup. Oh yeah, he's only won all that. Yeah, that's sound. But they can't bring themselves to imagine what it's like to have that togetherness between club, fans, manager, team. It's like we're lucky enough to have a moment here with Klopp that is, I was saying this day, is a little bit like the 60s and 70s, where it's like the Mersey beat. We've got scousers making the name in the music industry. We've got comedians selling out arenas who are from the city. We've got some of the best comedians, the best musicians. We've got journalists doing bits. We've got artists smashing it, like Abigail and Claire, who are making brilliant fucking artist work. I don't know what you call it. Pieces of art. Making pieces of art, and the whole city's just thriving again, and that's down to Jürgen Klopp. It is. He's give everywhere a buzz. Everything feels special. You're walking through the city with a smile on your face, and I do believe a lot of it is down to Jürgen Klopp. The city picked itself up off its knees again, and it feels like it's all happened under that. You know, you've got music like to the Ragamuffins and Andy Hodgson, who are playing week in, week out to thousands of people, because that man's enabled us to be that good where people want to be amongst it. And that's something that's not going to die because he goes. That's his legacy as well. You know, we talk about the foundations he's laid on the pitch and in the club, not only on the pitch. Like the AXA Stadium was his idea, the AXA Arena, sorry, the training facilities, that was something he wanted to implement. They probably accepted a lack of transfer funds to enable the building of the stands. He's been a part of it all. It's all everything where the club's grown from strength to strength. And then you've got all the outside stuff, the music, the art, the likes of myself doing t-shirts, because your love for everything about the club is back again. You know, there was a time where you couldn't
even us doing this.
We love going to the match. Go on, we love going to the match, but you hated everything about the club. You love going to support the team, but he's unified it a lot.
Yeah.
And still issues with some on the club itself, but he's unified it a lot, where Liverpool Football Club feels special again.
Yeah. Now, and even us doing this, lad, it wouldn't have come about if it wasn't for what Jürgen Klopp has done at the club. It's just everything about him is, like you say, he's just. I think I was at that Legends thing with so it was Alan Kennedy, Jan Molby, and Mark Lawrenson on Saturday, and Jan Molby, I think it was, said it best. The first thing he talked about was Klopp leaving, and he said he's gave us our club back. He's made us be happy and wanting to go the match again. Like you said, it felt like a chore at times under sort of your Hodgson, and you know, obviously we had that great season under Rodgers, but I think for a lot of his time, especially towards the end, if it was feeling like a chore, wanting to watch them and wanting to go and support them and things like that. Obviously, you still did it, but it just didn't feel the same. And I think Klopp come in and immediately changed that. You've seen it straight away. And it was difficult at first, don't get me wrong. You know, you had all the injuries we were getting because you were adapting to a style of play and things like that. And, you know, the season was a bit up and down when he did come in and we finished outside of Europe and that. And then after that, we kicked on, and it was just brilliant. And more and more and more, he just became a Scouser, really. And I think, as I say, Jan said it perfectly. He gave us our club back.
He did. That's what I'm saying, lad. He made it all feel special again. Majorly. Even I mock the Evertonians because a load of them I know, and the ones who watch this do actually support it like proper fans. They make a day of it. They go out the pub. They have a sing. They go and watch the match, and if they win, lose or draw, they'll go out after it and that. But a lot of them I know don't have that in them to do it. It's just get up, moan, go to the match, come home, and do nothing.
Like it's going to work.
Yeah, but like you've got to get up and spend that 2 hours getting to the match and getting home and being in there. And you know, for us, like the footy bit gets in the way of our day a little bit. Do you know what I mean? He's made us just want to go out and be amongst our mates and just have special times together. Yesterday, I spent me all day pottering around from pub to pub to try and rub shoulders with people I've seen across Europe and who've spent these 9 years with. And that was emotional as well, because it was seeing people that you've made certain memories with because of him, because of Klopp. And it was just like, yeah, he's made us look forward to our weekends and can't wait for when Tuesday or Wednesday nights now. Thankfully, again, because of Klopp, we're back to Tuesday and Wednesday nights, back on the big stage. And yeah, it's just like, we can't wait. Every one of us went to that match yesterday, like, devastated that Jürgen Klopp is leaving, beyond words. But we can't wait for the season to end now. So coming out the stadium going, when's the fucking season starting? When's Slot coming in? Like, when are the fixtures out? It was bizarre. You know, we all wanted the holiday, we all wanted the break, and then somehow he flipped us upside down, tipped us up, and went, go ahead, on you go. See you next year. And
yeah. And you know what? He might be on the cop with you next year, lad.
Well, I guarantee he will. There was a point there. That's what I was going to say before when I said, like, I will love our fans. We made it all about Jürgen Klopp, but we let him know that the club, you know, is the sole focus. And when he done his first set of fist pumps, we started singing Liverpool, Liverpool, and he was joining in like a fan. Liverpool, Liverpool, and it was fucking brilliant. And I thought, imagine him on a coach to Villa next season. Fucking, he'd be in the middle of it.
He would 100%, absolutely.
And, you know, again, I always sort of, it's fucking stupid, but Bill Shankly done it himself, lad. He went and stood in the cop at the fans, and that's exactly what he'll do. I would bet my whole life that at one point next season, Jürgen Klopp's on that cop. I think he'll go and stand in the wall. I think he'll go and get amongst the main fans. I think he'll go and be a proper footy supporter, and, you know, give him a fucking season ticket and get him in that cop, because he will get ambushed for the first few times, but then he'll just become one of us. And it's that he just is the normal one, isn't he?
Yeah. And none of this fucking Noel Gallagher shite where everyone else is celebrating around him and he's standing there like a wally. He won't be doing none of that. He'll be fucking leading it.
No, but you've ever been.
Yeah, that just baffled me. But anyway, look, was last game of the season, of course. So I think it'd only be right just to have a little reflection on the season as a whole, and do what we kind of normally do at the end of the season, and give our little opinions on certain things. So I'm going to go straight into it, and I'm going to start with your player of the season.
Player of the season.
And none of these have been thought about, by the way. These are purely on the spot, so this could be fun.
I'm going to go Harvey Elliott. I am. You know, I think McAllister was a good runner for it, but I think he's had spells and big games where he's completely gone missing. And again, he's had been moved and shifted about. He's played boss as like a number 10, and then he's been put in like a two-man midfield, and then he's been put as a 6. So I'm not going to blame him. I've got no doubt he's going to be world class when he's played consistently in his normal position. But Harvey Elliott on the right side of midfield, I think, he's accepted the fact that a lot of the time it's been off the bench. He's come on, he's changed games, he's scored goals in games we weren't going to win. He's gave assists. His little dinks over the top into space has been a breath of fresh air in times where we weren't creating. You know, we've cried out for like a player like a Yossi Benayoun who can just make something happen out of nothing unexpectedly. What you want Thiago to be able to do and McAllister to do a bit more often. Harvey Elliott's done it every time he's come on the pitch. And his work rate, when we're winning, when we're losing, doesn't falter. He stacks back, he limps off every game. He gets kicked, he fucking gets up, he cracks on. I think he's just he's a pleasure to watch, just because I feel like no disrespect in terms of quality, but he's like someone who's won a competition to play. He's playing with all his heart in hope that he gets scouted, and he's being scouted. He's there. He's representing us fans. He was a fan from a young age, and he's doing his bits now, and he's got to be in contention as a starter next season for me, because I think he's at the age now where, we've discussed him as well with young players coming in. You've got your Conor Bradleys and your fucking Bobby Clarks and Quansah, and he's like the leader of them, but he's still only 21 himself. He's like the senior player.
Yeah.
Who's there for the kids, but he's 21 years old, and I just love his desire, his attitude, and what he brings on the pitch. All credit to him. I think he's my player of the season.
Yeah. No, I think you were right. McAllister was definitely in with a shout for it. I think especially that period he had from like sort of January to I'd say like March, he was just exceptional every single game. I think there could be an argument for Joe Gomez. In all honesty, I think the way he's performed this season has actually shocked a lot of people. I don't think there was many people who thought he could still perform at that level consistently, in all honesty, and I think he's proved a lot of people wrong in multiple positions this season. But I think for me, I have to agree with you. I think it has got to be Harvey Elliott. I think he's been our most consistent player throughout the entire season. I think everybody in the team you could look at really and go, you've had a drop-off in form, you've had a bit of a drop-off in form. I think Harvey Elliott, you can't do that with. I can't really think of a game, or there was probably one or two games here and there, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's had a run of games where you can go, he hasn't really been doing it for 4 or 5 games here, maybe not include him kind of thing. There's never been that conversation with him, and I think he's the only one this season. I think he's absolutely integral to what we do, and I don't think it gets noticed as much because he is always coming off the bench and things like that. But I think Jürgen said it himself. His only regret this season is not starting Harvey Elliott more.
Do you know what? He's like, you sort of just expect he's like a 7 out of 10 every week. Just expect these consistent performances out of him. It was the same with Jones when Jones had that like 6-week spell where he never got injured, and he was just constantly giving you energy and a bit of confidence in the midfield. But yeah, Elliott's done it, and he's been consistent throughout the season. He hasn't really had a drop off. He made one mistake, and it was trying to hold the ball up against Man United in the cup. That effectively cost us the game. But as we discussed, when it's 3-3 going into extra time, fucking why have we got every man off the pitch? So I don't think he's expecting to lose that ball and then think fucking hell the 1-on-1 when I'm outside their box. But yeah, I think. Another contender for me is, he'll go unnoticed, won't he? Under the radar. Who is it? Kelleher.
All right, okay. I was going a different direction there. I'm not going to lie.
Kelleher won't get a mention, lad. He's been absolutely superb. We didn't miss Alisson, barring 1 or 2 games where there was an odd mistake, which we've said before. Alisson makes mistakes himself, and it goes under the radar, unnoticed, because it's Alisson. Paul Kelleher. I don't think there's many teams you can bring in the second keeper for that many games. I think they played literally half a season each, and it go unnoticed. So yeah, I think Kelleher deserves a shout there.
I was actually, you know what, I was thinking of, I was going to mention him as well, and I didn't. But then I thought, right, if I mention him, and then I was going to mention Endo as well, and then I thought, if I start mentioning, I'm going to just mention the whole team, and it just kind of loses its point a little bit.
Harvey Elliott's one.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott, definitely for me. Young player of the season? For me, as good as all the kids have been, it's between only 2, but I think for me, Conor Bradley was exceptional when he played. He was absolutely fantastic, and we got another injury, which was disappointing for him. I think he would have played a bit more towards the end of the season as well if he never. But for me, it can only be Jarell Quansah.
Yeah.
The fact that he's, he was playing on loan at Bristol Rovers last season, and under Joey Barton, no less. Like, wouldn't wish that on anyone. But then the fact that he's come in when the summer everyone was begging for a centre half signing, and Klopp was like, no, we've got Jarell Quansah there, and everyone's like, who the fuck's this kid? And then you watched him in pre-season, you thought, all right, he looks like he's got something about him, and then he plays in proper games, and you're like, okay. He got better and better as the season progressed. Again, he made that one mistake against United where he's give the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Other than that, he didn't put a foot. The Ollie Watkins goal against Villa the other day. Where he's got round him. He didn't score it, but He's made a handful of mistakes, but he's 20. He's gonna have mistakes in his game, but I just think
no
he's been
centre half that doesn't make mistakes.
The fact that he's ended the season very clearly ahead of Kanate, who for a lot of the season, in fairness to him, was very good. It's just when we were bad, he was horrific, unfortunately. The fact that he's ended the season ahead of him, ahead of a full France international, who's likely going to be starting alongside probably Saliba in the Euros, is remarkable. I think it can only be Kwanzaa for me.
Yeah. For the spell Bradley had, like the goals he scored, the assists he got, he was a breath of fresh air on the right. He was an absolute diamond. You know, I said to you, I compare him more so to Robbo because his determination to defend as well. But when he goes up that wing, mate, he bombs on, and it is like watching a young Andy Robbo. But I think in front of goal, technically, Bradley's probably a little bit better. You know, he's got a bit of a better finish and he's a bit more calm and composed. But yeah, I think I'll go Bradley because just so it is a bit different. I think Kwanzaa has been superb in the mistakes he has made. As you just said, he's 20 years old. He's gonna make mistakes. He's learning off Van Dijk. He's playing in a defence that's not secure, if you want. It's not consistent. It's not the same back four or back five. He's played with two different keepers, two different centre half partners. He's played with different right backs, different left backs. It hasn't been. You need your back five to be consistent throughout the season. If there's no injuries, obviously we haven't been lucky enough. But I don't think he's. I think he is. He's next to Van Dijk now. He's there. But Bradley, in terms of what he done for us going forward and the excitement he brought on the pitch, you know, it went back to us. It was a bit like when Sally used to get the ball in his heyday and the whole ground would stand up. Bradley would get to the halfway line, the main stand would be out the seats and he'd be like, fucking hell, he must be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give it to Conor Bradley, but absolutely no doubt about it. That Kwanzaa is up there as well.
Yeah. No, it as I say, it could have been either one of them. It really could have been.
It's mad that we can't put Harvey Elliott in the youth. He's 21. He's still not an England international because he's playing for the under-21s. Mad.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Signing of the season?
It's a tough one because I can see signs of brilliance in the majority of them. If you'd have asked me 6 weeks into it, it'd have been Soboslai and I'd have been getting a tattoo of him, but his drop-off has been massive. Again, injury, lack of games coming on and not really being able to shake that rust off. But the signs are there that he's got a really good player in him. McAllister, fucking some unbelievable world-class goals that you'd imagine you won't see all that often again off anyone. They're phenomenal. When we get going and he gets on the ball, he's just an absolute piss take. But for me, it's Endo. I think Endo, at a time when we were up, you know, you see our reaction to potentially getting Casado and then bringing Endo in because we never got him. And the fucking uproar over him being a cheap, older player. But then we looked at how Schalke and that were responding to his departure and how the fans received him and the journalists over there. And then it was a bit exciting and he's been every little bit of what they said he would be. You know, he is he's a player that can actually play football. He can calm situations down, but he's not scared to get in. That's why he wears a gum shield. Yeah, I think, you know, there's been games where people have said, oh, he was shite there. It's hard to be good in that role when your midfield partners aren't doing their job. You know, he can't be the whole legs for the whole midfield and be left, right and centre without a bit of help. And there's been games there where I felt like he was failed by his partners. I honestly don't think Endo's had a bad game. There was even the games where he's lost possession and that, the likes of McAllister there against Villa, when the ball shouldn't be getting passed into you, and it is. That's where Endo's awareness is a lot better than McAllister's in them situations. He can shield the ball, he knows what way you're coming from. But when you've got three coming at you from all angles and you're receiving the ball in tight spaces, it's hard. And a lot of the time he gets out of just marched on. But yeah, I think he's been for the expectation we had on him, which was very little, for the output he's given us, I think he's been spot on. I think he's been a joy. And sometimes they're the best players when you expect very little, and they just love playing for the shirt. They love getting stuck in. They love the response from the crowd from a tackle, and then they instantly want to go into a second tackle. And he's just every little bit of what we need. I think we do need more quality in that position, but so we can rest him in games, because we seen with Fabinho, we killed Fabinho. Fabinho was doing that role for 4 years at a top level, and that effectively ended his career, because that's the hardest role on the pitch. If you're good at it, it's great, but you need the backup, you need the rest.
Definitely.
So get someone else in, but he's my player of the season is Waterloo Endo.
Yeah, I mean, without wanting to just repeat what you're saying, I think McAllister has probably had the most noticeable impact on the squad in terms of what he's done going forward. The games, I think the games when he was brilliant, he was far and away the best player on the pitch, and he had a good 4 or 5 game spell where he was like a level above everybody on the pitch, and he was just nothing he was doing was going wrong, and it was just phenomenal. And you thought, fucking hell, and to be fair, I do still think we've got an absolute bargain with him. But like you say, with Endo, for the expectation you had of him coming in, for the price tag as well, and obviously it's because he's come from, a mid-table German club in Stuttgart where he was the captain, but he was adored. As you mentioned, the journalists.
I said Schalke, sorry.
Yeah. No, but he was adored by them. The journalists all raved about him. Dutch, people interested in Dutch football who aren't journalists, just fans, raved about him. And then, we said it at the time, everybody who watches Dutch football thinks this is a proper Giroud signing.
Dutch.
Everybody who's... See, this is your fault. This is your fault. No, everyone who watches... everyone who watches German football... Not everyone who watches German football was raving about him. Everyone who'd never heard of him was saying how shit he was, which to me made no sense whatsoever. And yeah, I just think it took him a little bit of time to get properly settled and suited to the speed of the league and things like that. And once he did, he was a proper little... He was a better footballer of Lucas Leiva. Like, and that's the only way I can describe him. He would put his life on the line for the team, but he could pick the ball up, he could run with it, he could pass it, he could ping it 40 yards if he wanted to. He popped up with a goal here and there. It's like he was just a little gem of a player, and like an absolute just signing out of nowhere. And like you said, sometimes they're the best ones.
And he's got a little bit of a mix in him. Like, you see little spells where he gets proper stuck in. He's not asked if he is it. He's like a little terrier, little Mascherano at times. It's great when you see them little players just popping up with a kick at the ankle and not giving a fuck about the yellow card. I love all that. I think that's where we are a bit nice. And he brought a little bit, even the Villa game. The thing I really enjoyed about the Villa game, if we were just fucking if you couldn't get them, you just bring them down, just kick them. And that's what we need to go into next season doing. If someone is skipping past us, fucking kick them, get them down, take the card.
So as I say, trying not to be the same here, but it's just we're very similar in our opinions, clearly. Goal of the season, which is now done.
Do you know what I'm trying to think? McAllister's, was it Sheffield United?
Where is it the first time?
The Gerrard volley.
Yeah. Like, just come out from the edge of the box and it's top bin.
Hit it on the volley. Top bin. McAllister, Fulham. Fucking hell.
There's a lot. We've had some good goals this season. You could say all 4 goals against Fulham that game.
One of Trent's free kick.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was against, but yeah. Was it West Ham?
Tottenham.
It was Tottenham or West Ham. I can't remember which one.
I can't fucking remember. My head's
No, I
gone.
can't.
Like, certain parts of the season are just a blur, like foggy headed. Trent scored two belters. He scored a free kick and a goal against Fulham. Endo's against Fulham was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
McAllister scored a few.
Szoboszlai scored a few.
Yeah.
You know what one I'm going to go with?
Nunez will probably have. I'll tell you who it is. It's Harvey Elliott against Tottenham.
Yeah, that's a very good one. No, there's loads. There's that one. There's McAllister's got a few. Szoboszlai only seems to score fucking bangers. Nunez is one I'm going to go with, but obviously he's got the very similar goals. He scored one against Sparta Prague, and he's got the one against Bournemouth after they had a goal after their fans were cheering because he miscontrolled the ball, and then he just that one. But the one I'm going to go with is Darwin Núñez against against Brentford.
Yeah.
Just everything about it. The ball being that high up in the air, Jota to control the header the way he did, and then Núñez to finish it in just Núñez's fashion. If he'd have tried to just slot it past the keeper, he would have missed. I'm sure of it.
You know what? If he'd have been on that, what's that? That sports show Ali McCoy that used to be on, John Patterson. That.
Oh yeah. Question of sport.
If that would have been on that, what happens next? Not one person saying he chips the keeper here. They're saying like he hits the corner flag, or he puts it through his legs, or he puts it posting it. No one's saying he dinks him because he's a fucking yard away from the goalie when he does it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It defies fucking
logic.
Science. How's he got it over, up and down, that casual as well? Like, that's what I mean. You know, we all have a little go at Núñez because he is fucking mad and he misses chances and he's offside and that. But you know, when he does do it good, he does it better than anyone. He's a mad player. I don't know what's going to go on with him in the summer. There's a little conspiracy now that he didn't clap Klopp and all that shit. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, but then there's also the video from the party last night where he's fucking in amongst everything. So
yeah, do you know what, lad? Emotion. There was spells yesterday where I didn't clap because you don't want to zone into what's actually happening, or you're gonna fucking have a breakdown. You just like in the abyss. You're just in a blur. I think he wanted to just avoid the situation. People aren't taking. He might have brought him off a few times too early, or brought him on a bit too late, but he's fucking been there for him. You know, he's brought him to the club. He's got him a better contract. He's got him more money. He eventually will excel as a footballer because there's a footballer inside him. You know, it's just, I don't think we play a system that suits him. I think that's our own downfall, not Núñez's. So we've just got to just see what happens in the summer. If a mad offer comes in and it was worth taking and we could replace him and get a proper number 9 who wants to play through the middle, then we see what happens. But for me, he's very much past the club. He's everything we want from a player in terms of personality. He's a bit zany. He's a bit mad. He works his fucking ass off for the shirt. He loves the connection he's got with the fans. And just got to see how he goes. But yeah, that is a Darwin Núñez goal, as Núñez as it could be.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Harvey Elliott against Fulham. Again, he
against
picks himself up in that in that position. And the reaction to the goal from everyone around him, including himself, to put his own head in his hands and not believe what he's just done is bizarre. But that's what he's capable of. And, you know, Pep Linders has said himself when he was issuing the book out that he's the best left foot he's seen. And, you know, he scored a few of them. He scored a few.
You know what it reminded me of? And you've seen it a lot from him this season. It was very much a Phil Foden goal. Phil Foden is brilliant at picking the ball up on his left and just hitting the target every time, and that's why he's been so. If you look at they were showing a like compilation of him the other day on something because he's won Player of the Season in the Premier League Player of the Season. 50% of his goals are the same. It's on that left foot, just outside the box, curl it top in, and he's so good at it. Harvey Elliott is technically as good as Phil Foden. Phil Foden's an unbelievable player, don't get me wrong. Phil Foden is absolutely brilliant and I hate him because of his haircut. I just think technical ability, Harvey Elliott could be as good as Phil Foden.
The problem we've got is that we don't play fucking Harvey Elliott in that position to suit that. like where Harvey Elliott is in that position against Tottenham is where Mo Salah should be, and something's happened where it's just not happening where Salah's at that point in the box anymore. But I don't know what's happening in that sense. But yeah, if we get Harvey, that's I said to someone yesterday. I can't wait to see if he ends up on the right at some point, because when he does cut in onto his left foot, he is brilliant. He can take a free kick. Who was it again? It was West Ham where he took the free kick and it was shit, and then took it and scored. Yeah, he's got everything. He's got absolutely everything. He's developing the midfield role where he's having to sack back and cover defenders and working. But what I love about him is every tackle's like a goal. When he tackles and he's at the crowd and that, it's fucking brilliant. But I'll be honest with you, I think Phil Foden's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, he is, absolutely.
I think he's out of this world. The little mank-shaved eyebrow, cat-looking bastard, can't bear him. But his kid belongs to Vincent Kompany. And I couldn't give a fuck if he's won 6 titles and he's 23. None of them are real. But yeah, he's 2 years older than Harvey Elliott. I've got no malice towards him whatsoever.
Except for all of that malice just then, like.
No, he's class, lads. You can't.
Yeah, he is.
Can't take away from him. His
I say.
But,
I just hate him because of his haircut more than anything.
I just hate him because you hate anyone who's brilliant for an opposition.
You do, to be fair.
He is absolutely remarkable.
He's brilliant.
Class, so.
Especially for it, and again, you say it, he's only a couple of years, like the fact that he's only a couple of years older than Harvey Elliott is crazy. But I genuinely believe
given the opportunity. I think you said it the other week about Cole Palmer, and you said like, and Phil Foden's in the same boat. He's like the pinnacle of his team. He's one of the main men. He's been given the reins to be one of the main men. Harvey Elliott's been held back a little bit by being a squad player. Once he's given the reins to go, listen, you're playing every week. You've got to perform to this high standard every single week. You're playing 90 minutes. I think that he goes on to the next level. He's got the capabilities 100%. To go to the heights of Foden. Definitely, he's got 3 years to reach there. You know, he's 19. He's 21. He's won a lot. So, you know, he might have won as many league titles or whatever, but been to more European finals. He's seen everything. So let's just, and it's all been through fairness. So let's see how we can go. I'm looking forward to seeing where he features next season. You know, that's my only worry with a new manager coming in is players we really like. He just mightn't see a place for them in his system, and that is the worry. I think that's why there's a bit of. I think Nunes is probably shitting himself. I think that's why his reaction is the way it was. A little bit like, fucking hell, you're leaving me. I don't think you've got any chance. But you've seen him, Nunes' video, they're all dancing with the gaffer. There's not any bit of malice from any of them players to him. Salah, people want to make a big song and dance over him. He was trying his best not to sob his heart out. And again, they're all effectively losing a dad-like figure.
Yeah.
When he goes.
Definitely.
The world's different.
Yeah. Last thing we're going to ask you then, to sort of do our little end of season thing, because I know you've got to go very soon, is most improved player this season?
Joe Gomez. So from where he's been at in the past, when we won the league and that, absolutely, he was massive part of the machine. There was times where if Joe Gomez got injured, we were fucking spitting out him out like, what are we going to do? Because he was that good. He got his injury, a horrific injury. He got another injury. You know, didn't see a way back for him. He didn't slot back in at centre half. Again, I don't think. He got played right back, played the odd game through necessity at centre half. He's played left back. He's played everywhere. He's become a James Milner in wherever you put him. He does a job. He's versatile. And he gives us all. And I think I'm delighted for him. There was a point where I thought, I think I've said it before, is he's only ever defending when he's chasing his own tail, when he's covering up a mistake he's made. And if he got offered money for him so we could go and play more games, we should do it. But I think he's a key player that we need to keep because of his versatility. I think he's improved massively. He's kept himself a lot fitter this season. And you know, I think we've seen the difference defensively when he's not there. I think we're a better unit altogether when he's in the back four. So for that, I think he's the most improved player, and I hope he can stay at them levels, because if he does, there's no doubt he's in and amongst that squad next season.
Yeah. I think Gomez is the obvious answer, I think. But for me, I'm gonna go with Kelleher, and it seems a bit of a weird one to say for him because I don't think we knew how good he was anyway, and that was never in question. But I think the fact that this season he's had to come in and play a lot of games, which he's never had to do, and the fact that we've been able to go at points this season like that. I never thought at the start of the season we'd be able to say we don't miss the best goalkeeper in the world. And yeah, we didn't because of Kelleher. Kelleher was, and I said it at the start, when he first come into the team after Alisson got his injury, he looked really shaky at first. And I think that was just a bit of rustiness, getting used to playing week in, week out again. And as soon as he shut that off, he was just phenomenal. And I think we don't have the season we've had, even though it hasn't been quite as high as it could have been without Kelleher. And to be fair, I think we actually had a little drop off when Alisson come back a little bit. Not because of Alisson, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel, yeah, he's just been brilliant. I think he genuinely has been absolutely phenomenal this season. And I think, his distribution is a massive part of his game, because I don't feel nervous when he's got the ball at his feet. I do with Alisson. I trust Alisson with the ball at his feet, don't get me wrong, but I feel nervous every time he's got it. I don't with Kelleher. Kelleher gives off that, he's not as good as him, but in that sense, but he gives off a Edison feel when he's got the ball at his feet.
Calmer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a bit calmer. I think whatever situation Alisson's in, he's going to do it anyway. Whereas Kelleher sort of reads the room a little bit and thinks, fuck off, there's two men running at me. I'm not going to try and go in the middle of them. Yeah. And I'll get rid. But there was a game when I was sat in the car, and I can't remember what game it was. We started off relentless, and the system was play the ball back to Kelleher, and Kelleher would whack it through the middle. I think we got in about 4 or 5 times in the first 10 minutes, and we missed chance after chance after chance. And we discussed it. I can't remember what game it was, but Diaz got through 1-on-1 2 or 3 times in the first couple of minutes and missed them all. And I was like, fuck me. But the distribution from Kelleher, from the edge of his box right through to the edge of their box, without having a touch, just pinging it. It was brilliant to watch. And I know, obviously, Alisson's brilliant at doing it, and that's probably the best part of Alisson's game, and his one-on-one shopping. But, yeah, Kelleher, he's a really good goalie, lad. He's a really good goalie, and I think he's calm. He organised the defence. I think, again, you want the same back five, so I think he played like 16 games on the bounce or something. But amongst that, the back four was changing all the time. So it's a little bit of lack of confidence in that. And then I think the defence that did form a bit of a bond with Kelleher, he's just whipped out the team. For no reason, really. I know Alisson's a better all-round goalie, but I think there was a little bit of unfairness with that. I think Kelleher should have seen it out until he made the mistake. That cost us a game. And yeah, I think he's been fucking great. We've got to see what's going to happen with him next season now. Whether we're keeping him or is he going to go and play first team football? Because I think anyone outside the top 6, he goes and starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, that about does it for today. This is going to be our last sort of regular podcast for a few weeks. Obviously, when something major happens, whether that's, manager announcement, player announcement, pre-season friendlies, anything major throughout the next few weeks, we will obviously come back and cover those. But as I say, there won't be proper weekly ones for a few weeks, I'd imagine now. But saying that, you will still be seeing something from us over the next few weeks, hopefully. So just be prepared for that is all I'd say. And I suppose all we finish this off with is, have you got any final words of anything just about Jürgen Klopp?
I have actually. I got asked by. I was talking to someone the other day, Scottish Neil. He's round the food bank and that, and apparently he's married to Colin Harvey's daughter, and they're quite close to Ula and Jürgen, which was mad to hear because I'd just spent the night outside Jürgen's house and couldn't get in. But I told him about my banner, and we were discussing LA, and I just wrote a few word changes for the song. Well, I wanted to try and get going for yesterday, just for Klopp, because I think personally it's time to retire the song with Klopp. I think that's been the Klopp era. I think it's being copied by everyone and no one does it like us. So get rid of it and start something new for a new era for me. But I showed him the words and then he asked me to send them to him and he wanted to forward them on to Uller and Jürgen, which was unbelievable for me. I don't know whether he has or he will or he won't, but these are them. So take them if you want, but we conquered all of Europe. We're never going to stop. From doubters to believers, we thank you, Jürgen Klopp. Like Bob Paisley and Bill Shankly, you brought the league back home. Now Jürgen lives forever and he'll never walk alone. Danke, Jürgen.
Thank you, Jürgen. Love you.